Remember, eye and ear protection. Okay, the purpose of this video is to show you how to make a better door, a better joint on the corners. This is what we've been making for a long time, and a lot of commercial places do it. We got a spline in there, just a loose spline. But what I don't like about it, it's even though we varnish and everything over that thing, you can still see it. And I want to get rid of that joint there. The same with a dovetail or a mitered door. It's got the same thing there. So this is what we had before, and that's a spline. I put it in after it's in there, but the trouble is, and afterwards you got to cut that all down and sand it all off. And the miter one here is even worse yet. You got to cut it at an angle like that, and it takes a lot of time to do all of that. And then so what I'm working on now is this is what I want to end up with, just like this. So here it is. I don't cut all the way through there, and it fits in just like that. And the miter door will be the same thing like this. Here's a spline, it's a separate spline that goes right in there and drops in. Okay, the main tool I use for making these doors is a router table. Now, it's pretty hard to use a regular commercial router table, so I made up my own table here. It's nothing but a piece of plywood here, and the router is bolted to the bottom of here, and I'll move the camera over so you can see that. Now what I do is I take this plate off here. That's a plastic plate that's normally on there. I take that off, and then I'll drill holes into the, you can see them here. See right here, I drill holes, 3 holes into this base here. Drill right through it. Don't hurt anything. It doesn't hurt the router. And then I bolt that to the piece of plywood. Now I have it so I can tip it up like this, out of the way. I can tip it down. But if you notice in the back here, I'll have hinges there. See the hinges there? Well, I can unscrew that piece and I can take this over and put it on a bench or any place else I want to work. If I want to work on something real long, I can change it, but when I'm not using it, I can tip it up, and it works real nice that way. Now my main tools on here is just a slot cutter. And there's two different, there's a full quarter-inch plywood here that you can buy for the inserts for the panels, and here is what they call a quarter-inch luan, which is 3/16. So I have 2 cutters. I want 3/16 here, and I have a quarter inch here, so I can change those back and forth depending on what insert I want to put in there. Okay, you can buy these cutters at Rockler Woodworking. The 3/16 model number is 91764, and the quarter inch is 91785. And these are the ones with a 1/2 inch shank. You should always use a 1/2 inch shank, never a quarter inch, because on a cutter that big, I think it could break off. It's not safe. Now the rotors I like best for this is the type that they screw in the base, and then you just turn them like that. You can make real fine adjustments real easy that way, and then just tighten them up. I have a special wrench here for it. Wrench right there, and that's what'll tighten it up. I can reach underneath there and work it right from underneath. I don't have to lift the table up like that. Okay, now in order to get that, I have to have a long fence on here, because I got to put some some blocks on here, stops, and some stops on here, depending on the size of the door. But what you should have is one like this. You can see it here. See, it's just the shape of the cutter bit, so you don't what they call a zero clearance. When you put it on there, you got wood, you got some blacking there, so the piece can't get in there anyway. And besides, you have the bearing there. It makes it very, very safe that way. And you'll see these lines, different lines, and I'll show you later on what those are for different settings. And all you do is take a clamp here and just clamp it on. I'm sorry, you don't clamp that on. This one you screw on. I have a mark here so I know just where to start. I just put a little screw in here and that holds it on. And this is just an ordinary piece of wood. It's nothing special. Okay, so that's how that works. Now I'm going to go to the saw and stuff and cut up some blanks, some stiles and rails for both for a mitered door and for a regular stile and rail door. And it's just cut on a regular table saw and miter saw, and there's no need to film it. Okay, I got my blanks cut here, but I want to point out something on mitered doors. See, these two have to be the exact same length, and these exactly the same length. If one is off a little bit, your miter is not going to work out that way. So you can see they're different lengths, but you gotta make sure that you got them paired. This pair is one length, and this pair is the other length. Okay, when I start, see if you see this black mark right here, and the one I'll come down here. You bring your stile, your rail, right up to that mark there. Then I have a clamp fits on back here. You can just see I put that clamp right here, so from there to there. Okay, now you can see I've got it right at this mark here. So I put my clamp on here, then I push it over to here, so it comes over on this side to this mark here. And I'll put another clamp and block over there. Okay, so now when I start here, I push it in like that, feed it through, and take it out. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on and do that. Okay, I do have a dust collector here. I can put it on there. I usually don't leave it on all the time because I let it fill up and then I turn it on and suck it away. It makes too much noise. I got it just adjusted just about right on about an eighth of an inch there. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut the other one. When you got it here, when you're feeding it in, don't slam it in like that. Just kind of feed it in slow so you got a chance to cut. Otherwise it won't do much. It could throw this way. That's why it's blocking here. So the rails, the stiles are all done. Now I'm going to cut the rails. Okay, now if you see this mark right here and here, that's where I line this up right to that mark. And I put my stop over here, right up against there, clamp it on, and you see I push it in like this. Again, just the right. About an eighth of an inch there. So I'm going to go ahead and finish it up. But you have to be careful. You went in this way here with this one. So you got to remember to tip it over like this for the other side. So off here, and then you run it through. So I got it here, I got it here, and here. So I'm going to run it through this way now. So that's all the stiles and rails. Okay, now I'm setting this, I'm just using my router table for this. But I'm just setting it up here so I can get my dimensions for my panel that goes in there. If you have a lot of them, I take them over on a workbench there and do them. So now what I want this to go in there 3/8 of an inch. Yeah, I got a 1/2 inch there, but I only want 3/8 in there. So I go 3/4. That means it's got to be 9 3/4 here. So I'm going to mark that down, 9 3/4. Now we'll go this way to here. We go 3/4. So we got 7 3/4. I mark. Wait a minute. 3/4. There'll be 7 3/4 here. Okay, so I'm going to go over and cut a panel that size. Okay, now I'm going to show you how I make the splines for these. Well, I call them splines, but you can call them whatever you want. They just fit in there. So what I do is I need 4 for each door. So I take 4 pieces, I rip them down to 1 is 7/8, and then I just take and sand these edges a little bit so they fit in better. So I'm going to turn the camera off and sand the rest of them. Then I take and bundle them up and tape them up real nice and tight. And go down about in the middle of it. Tape it up good. Okay, see now I got a nice bundle. Every time I make some, I just cut it off. So I'm going to cut this off nice and square here first. Then I just take one of the last ones. Let's call them a biscuit. I think that's what they use, biscuits. Modified biscuit. See, then when I use these, then I got it all marked for the next one. But I'm going to give you a size on here so you can remember that. Okay, I want to give you a size on these. They're about 1.5 inches long and 7/8 wide. Okay, then I take this over on a miter saw and just cut a little bit like that, and I finish sanding, and I'll show you that. Now I just mark the length I want on them. I just take one of the old ones, mark it, and cut it off. And now I got 4 biscuits for the whole thing. And I take one of these and I take and put it back on here and just mark it. And I got it already sized out for the next one. I that, and I just keep going that way. Now this door is going to be round over all the way around, 1/8 inch round over all the way around all these edges here and in here. But I can't round this over in here after I get the panel in there. So I have to do it first. So this way I put it, just make a little frame like this with plywood. Make sure this is 90 degrees here. A couple of wedges in here. You can actually glue up your doors with a system like this. So I'm just going to route this around the edges here. You got really nice rounded in there. Put the panel on there because you can't do it afterwards, and then you can route these out over. Now there's another type of door which you can regular shaker door. I'm going to convert this over to a regular shaker door, which is glued here too. So I'm going to do that. Okay, now I'm going to round this over just like a regular shaker door would be, all the way around and over. And I'll put it back in the clamp. You can see it. Shut the camera off now and do the rest of them. This is what I call my mini router table. I just take the regular water plate off here, make a little plastic one like this, screw it on, and I can screw it to the bench. When I don't need it, I can still use like a hand router. Take it like that. Then we just standing back. I just stand. Go over all these edges like that. Okay, I'm going to go glue up one of these. First I start with the biscuits, put a little glue in here. I have to go fill my glue bottle up. And I got more glue. Get a whole lot of glue on there. Put one in, put the panel in. Or you can take it out of there and put another one. These here things, you can make all kinds of those. Real easy, a lot easier than clamps and stuff. Okay, now I'm going to do all these. Now this goes in like this. That's your stop there. I usually make a blank or just a sample here and just run it through, make sure I got it just right here. And these are okay, so I'm going to go ahead and this I like to wear my glove here. And here I got, so you got to hold it like that. So I use this to push it through rather than a stick because I don't want it to slip all the time. Okay, I'm going to cut the camera off and do the rest of them. Okay, now I take this off and I run it through like this. Now I'm going to set up for assemble this one. Now this is a very fast operation. It takes just a few minutes to do a door like that. Okay, now I put these biscuits in here just like I did on the other one. Get those biscuits in there, you got a lot of glue surface there. Now I'm not going to put a panel in this one here. Put these angles on here like this. And I clamp them from two different directions. And here. There. And you see how nice that tightens up. Everything is perfectly square on it. You let it set for an hour, dry and take it out of there. Now with this system, you can make just about any type of door you want. Here's a raised panel door, but you got the same system here. Different edges. Nice panel, real nice door. Here's just a regular round door, and it's a standard 1/4 1/8 inch round over all the way around. And there, your nice joints on top there. So all your lower door, cabinet doors, you're always going to see that joint there. I just don't like it. I finally got rid of it. Now here's a shaker. This is an older shaker door, but this you can do all this kind of stuff with a shaker door. Shaker, mitered door, mitered picture frame door, like that. You do all kinds of things with that. And here's this plain round over, 1/4 inch round over mitered door. And here's a full-fledged shaker door. See, it's got the grooves here. They continue on up here. Just we round over everything on that. And that's a very popular door. And that, of course, is just a shaker type, but it's just a flat door. It doesn't have any grooves up here. And these doors here, you can take this cutter, this edge we have on this door here, and you put it on any one of these doors, even on the mitered door. So I think that's all for today. I thank you for watching.